As a tech worker, do you ever wonder if you're missing out on secret tax breaks? Most tech employees are. For the past 5 years, I've been hired by wealthy tech execs of multi-billion-dollar companies to help them save on their personal taxes. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 tax tricks every tech employee should know, how to implement them even if you're not a tax expert, and how taxes can be optional for tech employees. To start, let me show you the first trick that helped me pay $0 in taxes even though I had a gain over 1,000%. When I was in college, I purchased some Tesla stock. The problem was I bought it in 2016, right before it would skyrocket to more than a 1,000% return. That's a good problem to have, but it also meant more taxes. I was staring at a massive tax bill when I realized there's a way to pay nothing, even on this massive tax gain. Let me show you how. Every taxpayer has access to free gains. For those filing jointly, you have about $100,000 worth of long-term capital gains that you can recognize tax-free every year. But here's the catch. As your income goes up, that tax-free window shrinks. For example, if your salary was $80,000, you would have about $20,000 left for tax-free gains. So how did I leverage this trick? I waited until I had a low income tax year when I was starting my business to sell my winning stock without having to pay taxes on that gain. You can use this trick too. If you're in between jobs or starting a business, working part-time, retiring, or taking a sabbatical, you may also have a low income year, giving you the opportunity to sell some of your winning stock and pay $0 in taxes. So that's good and all, but how can you avoid taxes even when you're earning more in a high income tax bracket? Imagine you're at a buffet. When do you pay for your meal? You pay at the beginning, right? You pay up front and then you can eat as much as you want, no extra charges, no surprises. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could do the same thing with your investments? Pay taxes once up front and then enjoy unlimited growth without having to worry about taxes ever again. Let me show you how to get into the financial buffet. Most people have a regular 401k or an IRA. These are called traditional accounts. They're not like a buffet, they're more like a sit-down restaurant. You eat first and then you pay your bill at the end. The more you eat, the bigger your tax bill. In other words, you pay taxes later. The more your investments grow, the more you owe. But there's another option, the Roth account. With a Roth, you can pay taxes up front, just like you did at the buffet. After that, all gains inside the account grow tax-free. You can pile your plate as high as you want. Now, you might have heard that if you earn too much, you aren't allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA. And that's true. Well, kind of. There's a simple workaround called a backdoor Roth conversion, and it's way easier than it sounds. Here's how it works. First, you put your money into a traditional IRA. Almost anyone can do this, even high income earners. Then you move that money over to a Roth IRA. That's it. Suddenly you're in a financial buffet able to enjoy tax-free growth, no matter how much you earn. I highly recommend working with a tax professional as there can be potential taxation on that conversion. That said, if you want to enjoy unlimited tax-free gains, don't settle for the sit-down restaurant style of a traditional 401k or an IRA. Use the backdoor Roth strategy in addition to get into the buffet and keep more of what you earn. But let me tell you a secret. There's a lesser known account that's even better than the Roth. Remember how the Roth account was like a buffet when you pay up front and then you eat as much as you want tax-free? Well, this next account is like a buffet, but with a free meal coupon. You get in for free and eat as much as you want, and then you walk out, never having had to swipe your credit card. If this sounds too good to be true, it's not. Let me show you how this account can save you up to $6,000 per year. There's something called a health savings account, or HSA. These fairly common accounts were created by the government to empower people to pay their medical expenses, and they're an absolute powerhouse when it comes to the tax benefits. While the Roth account gives you access to 2 tax benefits, this account actually gives you access to 4. Here are the 4 tax benefits. First, when your employer puts money into your HSA, you skip payroll taxes, like Social Security and Medicare, also known as FICA tax. A family doing the max HSA contribution can immediately save over $500 a year through skipping FICA tax. money you would have normally never seen. Second, no matter how much you earn, you get to deduct your full contribution from your income tax bracket. That can mean saving over $3,000 a year in federal taxes. This is money you would have paid to taxes, but now stays in your pocket. Think of this as your free meal coupon. Third, any money you invest inside of your HSA grows tax-free. Over a few years, even a modest investment can grow by thousands, and you don't have to pay taxes on those gains. Fourth, when you use your HSA for qualified medical expenses, you can spend that money tax-free too. It's like walking out of the buffet, never having had to pull out your credit card. And don't worry, even if you end up with a lot of money in your HSA, most people have increasing medical expenses as they get older, so spending it won't be a problem. Now that you know the 4 tax benefits of the HSA, can you see how they're a powerhouse for saving on taxes? And let's be honest, we'd all love to pay less taxes if we could. So let me show you how taxes can be optional. Imagine your doctor telling you died from scurvy. How helpful is that? Not very. Thanks, doc, I'm already dead. What you really needed was someone who knew your health so they could educate you on taking more vitamin C, thereby avoiding the problem completely. Taxes work the same way. When you're sitting down to do your taxes, either with TurboTax or with your CPA, after the year is over, it's like finding out you already have scurvy. There's not much you can do at that point. They're just telling you how much you owe. That's a very reactive approach. But here's the secret: with proactive, forward-thinking tax planning, you can actually avoid a lot of those taxes in the first place. Timing your stock sales, leveraging Roth conversions, and using HSAs are just a few examples of ways tax planning can proactively reduce your tax bill. It's like loading up on vitamin C all year long. That said, optimizing for taxes can actually be the quickest way to ruin your financial life. I've seen people who have tax planned and lost their houses in the process. If you optimize for taxes first, you'll likely regret some of your decisions. So let me show you the 3 exact things that are way more important than taxes that you need to optimize for before implementing the tax strategies I just showed you. Click here to watch more.